In Quito, Ecuador, global volunteers received thanks at Camp Hope, a home for disabled children. They have helped build a wall for a nearby orphanage and provided medical care in a home for single mothers and their children.
I wanted to thank you for coming down to help us. Especially at the group home where you built a wall. We now feel secure and we want to thank you for that.
Well, I wanted to do a volunteer program with children, and handicapped children especially. I had a brother growing up who was handicapped, and he was in a wonderful situation with a loving family, and that helped him. And just to be here and see some of these people who don't have the same circumstance, it's just awful. So if we can give them a loving environment and the surroundings that helps them overcome some of their handicaps, that's great.
One of Global Volunteers' primary goals is to be a cultural exchange program. This means volunteers will not work if locals are not equally involved.
We have that for a couple of reasons. One, primarily, is we want the person-to-person exchange. We want to be able to establish friendships. We want people to be able to share their ideas, share their experiences, share their knowledge. In our experience, if you don't have this type of rule in place, then you end up doing the project by yourself. And so therefore there can be no exchange of information, there can be no exchange of friendship, there can be no exchange of knowledge.
One of the things I think I like from Global Volunteers is their attitude, because as they're, what they say is, they're here to serve. And the idea is, to become friends and work together, not to bring your culture, your ideas, and impose them. It's more of a, let's do it together. And I think that's the philosophy a volunteer should have, whether they come to Ecuador or they go anywhere else in the world.
Before, I never liked the United States. I mean, not the people, but the way they manage the war. I don't agree with this. Never. I'm not going to agree never with this. But it's good. It was good for me because I could have a different view from the people. So now I don't hate anymore United States. I knew people that was really, really good people, really interesting people, really simple people, really nice people. So it was really good, and now I would like to visit the United States.
Her fractures have been on a very proximal radius, and both sides are kind of very similarly deformed. Looking at her legs, obviously has had multiple fracture on her legs very early in life when she was trying to crawl.
The place that we went to today, where there are mothers and children, they've not had any exposure to medical care, and we're actually only just going to start initiating this kind of care. And I think, and the people there seem to be so grateful. It seemed like we did so little, but the gratitude they show is so much more. And I think some of that is because, apart from our medical skills, we just show that there are people out there who care. And I think that in itself makes a difference as well.
Esta es la alcoba de una de las madres, pues, con sus 6 niños. Una Juanita se llama, que es la chica que está allá. Tiene 6 niños, aquí es donde ella duerme. Todo, ¿no? Remar, pues, es un lugar donde acogemos personas.
This is a place for people who have been abandoned, mostly children, but also women who have been abandoned by their husbands.
Voluntaria, ¿no? Como la profesora. La profesora es una de ellas, Susana Colón, que es voluntaria, ¿no?
And we also have volunteers, like the teachers. I myself am a volunteer.
Pues conocí a remar y ingresé con mi niña, tenía apenas un mes de nacida. Y pues
I've been here ever since my son was 1 month old. More than anything, here you learn how to love and to give love. You wouldn't believe all the abandoned children.
aprendemos a dar amor.
It's inherited, it's genetic, and they are born with bones that are very weak, they don't have enough calcium, and they break easy, and they don't heal very well.
She knows the father, she knows who the father is, and I mean, he doesn't live here anymore, she has nothing to do with him, but his family has the same problems.
What I do in the United States, I'm basically a subspecialist, a pediatric oncologist. I take care of children with cancer. We have incredible resources and a multidisciplinary approach. There are a lot of doctors who can render the care, and obviously we have the best quality care in the world. Now I come down here and look at children from a very general pediatrics perspective, and the differences I make here are very different from the kind of differences I make in the United States. But certainly the differences are much more meaningful and immediate in the care that I would render here. Unfortunately, what I'm doing is such a short intervention that if you're looking at a measurable difference, or if you're looking at what will amount to in a year from our interaction, well, it may be negligible. But however, if there are more and more people who do this, it does come to a lot.
We met some of our goals, some of them, for example, going to meet at the hospital. We're experiencing some residual problems like we had when we were first here last week. So, but I think we've all done a very good job at meeting those goals.
I started a diary when I first started the trip, and I had spent 3 days here prior to the group starting, and I was a little apprehensive about being in a group of 10 people. I'm used to kind of running a household, and now I'm going to be one of 10 adults. This group has meshed so well. The interesting thing is that we all have experience, we all have different knowledge, and we blended all that. And it's incredible how much more a group can do than one person alone.
Coming from the consumer lifestyle that we come from in the States, it can be very attractive. It can be very difficult to let go of. But I think in the long run, those aren't the things that make you happy. The new BMW isn't going to make you happy. Serving others, I think, makes you happy. I've done a lot of volunteering in the past, and I continue with a volunteer job, and I know that I will continue to volunteer in the future, although I do not know to which capacity, but I will continue to volunteer because I found that it's the most rewarding. It's not the money that I make, it's not the cars that I have, it's not the things that I own. It's the relationships that I have with people, and it's the experiences that I share with them. It's the memories that I have. These are the important things that I take away from the work that I do.
Global Volunteers is a private, non-profit, non-sectarian organization in special consultative status with the United Nations. Volunteer teams work under the direction of local hosts and project managers on human and economic development programs in over 70 communities worldwide. Co-founded in 1984 by Bud Philbrook and Michelle Gran, Global Volunteers' goal is to enable participants to wage peace through direct service to partner communities. For more information, contact us at 800-487-1074 or email at globalvolunteers.org. You can find us at www.globalvolunteers.org on the Internet.